Hi there, and this is my second video for the intermediate version that I've transcribed into the key of A minor for Capricho Arable by Tariga. The part one covered the small introduction section and the A section, so this is what we call the B section. We've had a modulation now. We've gone to the relative major, so we've gone to C major, so the flavour of this one is just kind of a little bit more happier feel and brighter sounds. So let's have a look. It's starting at bar 27. This is probably a little bit more complicated, so on this video I will just slow it down and just give you some more tips and advice that I kind of use, and also just recognising that I'm trying to transcribe from the original version and put in the exact same features the best I can. Obviously, you know, changing key, you can't always do everything the same, but we get pretty close, but I'll explain as I go along. So suggest that you form like a part of a C chord, so before you start, so you've got a low C there and a C there. Same principles again in trying to bring out the kind of more interesting parts, and then the harmonic parts are played a little bit quieter. So what you can see in my music is that we've got two Gs on beats 1 and 2, 1, 2, and then we've got these little harmonic chords being played after. Now it's unusual, especially on the guitar in a sort of way, that the harmony notes are higher in pitch than the melody notes, so we just have to make sure they're quieter, and so people are hearing that as the melody line. So we just start off with this kind of C chord, and then it'll alternate to a G in the bass, quiet there. Okay, so I'll just play that one bar because then it gets a bit fiddly after this. The use of slurs when we've got a finger down, you know, it is quite awkward. Remember to keep this bass finger down. Yeah, we don't want that to just cut out, so we get all sorts of funny sounds as that finger jumps off. So try to keep that rooted down. There you go. And now, yeah, the bass note should continue for its full measure, full length, sorry, during the measure it's in. Right, now we come to our first fiddly bit, and I thought I'd just spend a bit of time on this one. Obviously what I've done is taken what was written in the original and put it into our key. It's actually really fiddly as well. All this section is a really difficult section in the original key. Probably one of the hardest sections as you're kind of progressing through levels, that all of a sudden you hit and you think, wow, this is now quite tough. And unfortunately it's still the same in just this little bit. So I'm just going to give you a couple of tips. We've got a C with an A. Okay, but I've got a trill with it to a B. Okay, so the trill is the A to the B, and I'm using fingers kind of 1 and 4 for me. Again, lots of these things I can't stress enough. These are my editorials for fingerings. If you find something else that's more comfortable and works, then that's fine. Don't get stuck on thinking, should I do this, should I do that? I'll always just give you my fingerings and explain why. The reason I kind of prefer fingers 1 and 4 here, I think it just feels more comfortable for my hand, but actually 1 and 3 is just as okay. It doesn't really bother me. I can just use either, and I suggest you try with both and see what you like. The main thing is, just as I mentioned in the previous part about that bass note, you've got to keep that finger 2 down. Okay, we need it to last through as we're playing that. And then there's a G bass. So the melody note is the A with the trill, and then just a harmony note. You can see the stem is down on the note, so therefore it's just a harmony rhythm type note that's being played. So it is awkward. It's marked in the second position because finger 1, my left hand, my index finger or finger 1 on the left hand is in fret 2. So I've kept all those little bits a bit quieter. Just that G and then that E with finger 2, a little bit quieter. So when you get to that, just practice. is awkward. If you're not used to doing these trills with fingers held down, then just make sure you isolate that point. Isolate that point and practice them. Don't try to just do them quickly and think it'll be better the next day. Use that as a little technique practice point. Okay, so then in bar 28 we just carry on with that D bass. Yeah, so 3 and A, and now we've got another one. That's it. Okay, so again we've got to hold this bass down as we're playing an F to the G trill. So just practice them until you're comfortable with that trill. Okay, and that takes us to the next bar, which is bar 29. So I did a little glissando again. These are probably mimicking exactly what happened in the original. So I'm just using a finger 1 now. To get up to there, and because that's quite strong, I'm not playing that G again. Yeah, I'm just playing the F, and up it goes, and we've got that E bass to go with it. Okay, so I'll do that again. Melody note, so louder, quiet on that E and G. Another trill. Okay. Again, fingers 1 and 3 on the C and D, or 1 and 4. It's your choice. You decide. Practice both, and then you get good at both, so you don't have to worry about it in the future. So that takes us to bar 30. Okay, so this is probably the real first technically difficult point that's really come in, as well as playing those slurs and trills with held bass notes on other fingers. We've got a bar A marked at fret 3, so I've got a G on string 6 under there, I've also got a D under there, but we've got a trill going from D to E. I'll just use fingers 1 and 3 here. Or actually I'll use finger 4, and I'll explain why, because I'm going to use finger 3 for that G on fret 5 of string 4, so that saves, again, a technique issue. Trying to do too much with one finger jumping around can lose accuracy, so why just not use finger 4 there and just place finger 3. Okay, so that first G there on string 4 that I've written as string 4 is a stems down, quiet. Now we get a stem up. Yeah, so this is where the music is a little bit confusing. They're the same pitch notes, but one is played as a harmony support note and one is played as a melody note. It's the same in the original. You can do little tricks to help you. You can play, for example, maybe more tasto quiet, just coming over the neck a bit more, and then I've come back to a slightly brighter sound here, just behind the sound hole, to make that one pull out. There we go, I'll just get those notes right. And then we've got a D and an F harmony afterwards. It's fiddly, it's awkward, so I always say go really slow. Yeah, and then just build that tempo up. Always isolate things into small parts and then you'll be fine. Right, holding that B and that F down here, all I'm going to do now is put finger 3 on the low G and move finger 2 to an A on string 3 there, and I just play thumb IMA across the strings. You can see that thumb IMA across the strings, so that just gives me a really nice feeling of playing across those strings there. And then we get a repeat, yeah, but just piano now. Here's our awkward bit again. I got it wrong there. Okay, so it's similar. Now here's an interesting point. Bar 32, which I just played there with the awkward C bass part. You can see that we've got a D stem down, so it's a bass note, and then we've got an F a G and an A with stems up, so they're the melody notes. Yeah, just playing that rest of that bar as the melody there. So the D is written as a crotchet, but obviously playing, yeah, we lose that D straight away when we play that F. Now this is just one of those things when the transcript, because I don't have a low D on this, because obviously I've not tuned differently, we can just forget that and just forsake it. You can just go, yeah, and just don't worry that the D drops out. Okay, and an aficionado who's listening closely might say, why have you not held that? Well, we can't, but you can actually, because if you play finger 4 as a D on fret 5 there, yeah, we can do it that way if you want to. Okay, it's a bit harder because you've got finger 4 trying to play that D, then finger 2 that F on the next string, the string 4, but it works. So your choice, you decide, don't get stuck on it thinking what shall I do, you make your decision. Okay, so where do we go now? Yeah, this is nice, this was in the original as well, this trill. So it goes G, F, E. You play them, the G at the same time as the E here. That's the more modern way of always doing our trills and things like that. In different times, you know, maybe the trills were played slightly differently to give a different emphasis of where the actually notes were going to be played, but this is how we kind of do it now anyway. So, okay, G sharp and a B there, quiet, harmonic, fret 7, string 5, gives us an E, yeah, so all we've got now going on is harmonic, and then come back to there. That works really nice. That is the same that's in the original, it's obviously just on a different string for a different note. Okay, so some nice big rundowns now. Okay, I'm using all kind of fingers here to play these, of course, even when I get to that F to D trill slur there. So I'm just playing across the strings, fret 5, fret 6, fret 7 for that. It's like a D minor shape, isn't it, that we know, but it's just played now with a E bass, A, M, I, playing nicely across the strings there, open B, yeah, so that's nice and simple, big fat E major chord, yeah, so just form an E major chord, and I'm doing thumb, 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 I, M, A. That makes that really smooth across there. You could play this D and F, F and D down here if you want to. Again, I don't know why. I think because I've already played it here, I'm just going to play it again. But you could play it, yeah, and just use different fingerings, maybe fingers 1 and 3. But here I'll just show you why I kind of did it. It was because I played it, that kind of part already before, so it just felt natural. We're up in that position, so why not just play it there again? It gives a nice deeper tone on those strings. Finger 2 on that B, so allows you to form that chord straight away. 1, A and A, 2, A and A, 3. Okay, now this awkward bit here, this long run of chromatic notes, just take them one bar at a time and count them as semiquavers. So I'm going to use all fingers as well, by the way. Yeah, so I don't have to worry about when I'm going to cross between a thumb and a finger, so I'll just do it that way. So beat 3, we've got 1 A and A, 2 A and A, 3 A and A, 4 A and A. And then we get, actually it should have been 3A and A, 4A and A, now 1A and A, 2A and A, 3A and A, and the last one we've got 5. Okay, 5, the beat's split into 5, so it's just going B, C, C sharp, D, D. Okay, so how do we count that and how do we get that good? Well, most people by now would be kind of accelerating their playing anyway. And that's the next note, actually, that E. for the C section. Most people will be accelerating away, so it's kind of not totally obvious that it comes about that way. But here's a nice little thing that I like to use. So for semiquavers, I just say the word semiquaver for a pattern of 4. So if I start with the G, semiquaver, semiquaver, you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, semiquaver, okay? But then for the next one, to count 5 feels a bit of a mouthful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So I just go university, university. Semiquaver, university, semiquaver, university, semiquaver, university. So university splits into 5, university. So when I'm thinking about this, I just kind of go semiquaver, university, semiquaver, university. And if you put a metronome on and just go between 4s and 5 and get used to doing that, you can just do it on an open string. Semiquaver, university, semiquaver, universities. Yep, and you just make sure that each one starts on the beat. You'll find that that works okay. So again, just that last little bit, we get, you can do a little pull-off, slow down first, I meant there. So we get 1A and A, 2A and A, 3A, yep, and it kind of works that way. So have fun with that C section, the B section, and the next video, video 3, I'll go and do the C section as with the final section before the repeat comes in. So good luck and have fun with that.